CNN pushed too hard against Trump, and it looks like now they're trying to make up ground and be nice to him. This is a level of fact checking I haven't seen on CNN in months. It means they're probably in big trouble. Going, we better turn this around, guys. We're being way too unfair to Trump. I'm Doug TeNapel, and we're here in Exile. Watch this.
When you listen to Kamala Harris on what she will do, you can almost start a drinking game every time she says small businesses. Let me give you an example.
That's Dana Bash saying Kamala Harris just does these regurgitated robotic answers. She is having like a come to Jesus moment where she's trying to be fair. She looked so unfair against Trump that she's actually going, Harris's answers seem kind of garbled and canned.
Part of my plan under my economic opportunity plan going forward is that right now, startup entrepreneurs, small businesses only get a tax deduction of $5,000.
Describe the politics of that.
When she says that, she also talks about being a middle-class kid. That's also at the front of her answers. If you look at the interviews they've been doing with local media, and they've opened up a bit more since the debate, the first question is often, what are you going to do to lower prices? Which is a very hard question for an incumbent party to answer. And it has implications that are very Trumpian. It is, Trump says he's going to do mass deportation. That'll decrease demand. Trump says he'll explore more energy. That'll decrease energy costs.
That's saying how Kamala can't answer for the economy and Trump largely can. They're asking for specifics and going after Kamala Harris again. I have to applaud CNN, and we got more. It's going to keep going, guys.
What people want to hear is, how do you make the prices go down? So everything she says is something realistic that could survive a fact check that answers a very hard question. There is not a plan to say that we're going to lower the cost of your grocery bill to what it was in 2019. There was a pandemic. There was a money supply inflation. You can't hit the button that makes that go away. But Trump has an answer that gets him through these questions. And Harris, I think, with a different set of incentives and a different relationship to something she can back up in a policy paper, she doesn't have an answer. So she goes to a larger, well, imagine a future where there are more businesses and this starts to ameliorate.
I just want to sting that final statement on that guy saying she doesn't have an answer on the economics. Here's another CNN doing a huge fact check in Trump's and the conservatives' favor.
I mean, she repeats it herself. Trump will be a dictator on day one. I mean, this country fights dictators. That's what our history is. We fight dictators.
Didn't he say that?
He'll be a dictator on day one.
his words.
There'll be a bloodbath. There'll be a bloodbath.
That there would be a bloodbath.
He wants to terminate the U.S. Constitution.
She didn't say that there would be
the first thing she said, which was true, and the second thing
it is said by every Democrat working for or around her campaign every day on this network and every other one. The bloodbath thing is stated.
Hold on.
What do you
Let's
think
just to clear this up. You're referring to Trump's use of the word bloodbath when he was talking.
And what was he talking about?
I'm going to explain it to people because I think there's confusion about this. Use of the word bloodbath when he was talking about, vehicle manufacturing jobs in the United States. Vice President Harris improperly and unfairly mischaracterized that as him saying there would be a bloodbath if he were elected.
I just want to hold on that moment for a second because she called out Kamala Harris for unfairly saying that Trump would bring out, and the people who use that bloodbath talk, that he was not talking about a bloodbath of the election. He was talking about there'd be a bloodbath in the auto industry if he wasn't elected.
However, she did not say that if Trump were elected, there would be a bloodbath. She did not say that.
Well, I mean, they got close enough for me. I'll throw CNN the point on that one reluctantly. 1 point for you guys for trying to correct yourselves. You ham-fisted Democrat operative wing pretending to be news. Well, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for subscribing. I especially appreciate hearing from you in the chat below. I'm Doug in Exile.